Right, so welcome to this video where we are going to set up a microphone, a guitar, ready for performance. There's a few items that we need to get through on this, but we're going to use our lessons from the previous video to set up the volume, set up the gain, and set up the EQ for a guitar and a vocal mic. So the speaker is already plugged in, we've already done that, so we're not going to go back to that, we're not going to revisit that. First of all, we're going to talk through some of the equipment that we're going to be using. So I'm going to use, from a previous video, my PG48, which is again a knockoff of the industry standard SM58, made by the same company, really heavy duty, it's made out of metal, and it's a great vocal mic, and this is the one I use for all of my gigs, so this is the first one. Also, what we're going to run through is a DI box, which adjusts signal and the volume for, say you want to run a very lengthy run of cable for a guitar. You've got the output for the box here, which will go into the mixer, and the input where the guitar will plug into. And that's all we really need to talk about. This is more sort of intermediate and advanced stuff, but this is a DI box. This is what it looks like. There are obviously different types with different looks, but it's essentially the same thing. So we'll set up our microphone channel first. And here are some cables I made earlier. And I can find the end. So we have, they're two different colours because I've had to extend them because I'm silly, I forgot the cables that I wanted to bring, but it's okay. So we have two ends there. Pick up the right cable again, there we go. So we're going to have the male and female end. Now, as you can see on the mixer, we have XLR in. So we're going to plug that in to that channel. And then plug it into our microphone next. That microphone is on. And now I'm going to speak into the microphone. There we go. We've got our level here. But we need to go up, 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 up. There we go. So generally you'd do a 1, 2. Now that's the cliche way of doing it. 1, 2. That's a good level. That's a good level to be at. But we're going to go just slightly higher because I sing all sorts of levels on this. So you are going to hear me sing very shortly. 1, 2, 2. There we go. So that's the volume level set for the microphone. Next up, we have our guitar. So again, we have the DI box, which I'll bring onto the camera very, very shortly. Here we go. The DI box, we're going to look at the output. That's a female. Plug that in. And in goes the XLR to channel 2. And as mentioned before, we use jack cables as well, which again I'll bring onto screen now. Here we go. So this is a jack cable. We label them up in different colours so we know what they're being used for. This one, for instance, is going to be used for a guitar, so we can put it into any one of these. There we go. In fact, I'm going to go into that one. And then we make sure it's switched on. And then that's ready to go. So we're already plugged into the desk. I have a guitar that I made earlier, not literally, but I bought earlier. I'm going to do this off screen so you can see what happens on the mixer. Again, always turn off the volume, so we're going to mute it when you're plugging in things, otherwise you're going to get an awful sound, which again can damage speakers, so we can unmute that now. So again, we're going to go into our pre-fade listen. It's not a bad level. It needs to be a bit more than that though. So again, you get them to, when you're sound checking somebody, you want them to do it at their hardest. So that needs to come down. That's about right. So now we can start to actually have a play and get the volumes up to the volume we want to get them to. So let's start bringing this up. We should start to hear. In fact, we'll do the EQ as well. Might as well. So we're flat on the EQ. We're now in coming through the speaker, which you might not be able to hear because I'm playing about right next to the microphone for the phone, but trust me, when I set up for the performance, it will be absolutely fine. So, right, now we need to bring the EQ. So we'll bring in the bass first on this one. Then we'll bring in the mid-range. And then we bring in the high end. So that sounds good for me. So I'm going to turn the volume down on the guitar. I'm going to mute the channel there. Now we're going to set up the microphone. So again, with your pre-fade listen. Oh no, we've done the pre-fade listen, so I don't need to do that. Again, we're going to adjust the volume to where we want it. So here we go, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, and obviously at the moment it sounds awful. So we're going to do the bass again first. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. There we go. Now the mid-range, 1, 2, 2, 2, and then the high range, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2. Bring the bass down a bit. 1, 2, 2. There we go. So it's as simple as that. And what we will do now is we'll set up, make sure that it's all good for a performance, and that's it. That's the end of the mixer course and pretty much how you set up a PA. And again, you do this all through whatever you've got, whether it's drum kits, and there's going to be other videos of how we set up the band very soon. There's going to be a completely different series because I need a band to be able to do so. But this is a basic run through of how we set up a PA system for any live performance. So we're going to mute that one up as well, and I'll see you in a second for the final product. 1, 2. So now, as you can see, I've got my microphone set up, my guitar set up, and we've already set the volumes. We're all ready to go. So I'm just going to look at the end result. So you can hear the guitar, sounds lovely. And the microphone sounds good too. So we're going to do a very, very quick demonstration. I'm just going to bring the volume down a little bit because it's a bit loud in my ear and it might distort on the camera as well. Right, so here is the end result. I'm all alone in this empty place, wondering what the hell am I doing here? Step by step into the dark abyss, the water rising, but there isn't any fear. Why don't you come and take my hand, take the road that leads us to anywhere. Stormy seas are to the west and the clear blue skies are to the east, but I don't care. In this cold, cold, cold and lonely water, in this cold, cold, cold and lonely water, hand in hand we will cross the sky, like two lovers we are asteroids in the world of space. As we collide and you watch below, time stands still and it feels like we're suspended there. In this cold, cold, cold and lonely water. and lonely water. In this cold, cold, cold and lonely water. In this cold, cold, cold and lonely water. There we go. You set up PA and we've got the final result. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in another set of videos where we're going to focus on songwriting, and when I've got the full band together we are going to do the same setup but for a band, and you get to see how much fun we have doing it. So thank you very much. Thank you Bognafinio, thank you Kez for letting me do these videos, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Cheers.